Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I am so glad you're joining me today because we're going to dive into something I guarantee pretty much every single one of us wrestles with all the time. We're unpacking this really fascinating idea called the fallacy of the perfect habit. You know, society's always whispering or, well, yelling in our ears that to be successful, you got to be totally flawless, right? We're sold this whole image of the ultimate high achiever. They're waking up at 4 a.m., meditating for an hour, drinking some weird cold-pressed kale juice, and literally never missing a beat. But what if the research actually points the exact opposite way? What if that intense burning drive for perfection is actually the very thing pulling the rug right out from under your progress? Must habits be perfect? Let's just be real for a second here. Think about your own day-to-day routines. Think about that brand new habit you were so hyped to start last month. Do you honestly believe that executing it flawlessly is the only way you're going to succeed? Because we kind of act like it is, don't we? If we miss just one single day, or if we don't pull off our master plan to the absolute highest standard, we treat the whole thing like a total failure. It's like, imagine deciding you want to read more, and you miss just one night's chapter because you're exhausted, and then you just throw the whole book in the trash and say, well, guess I'm just not a reader. I mean, it sounds totally absurd when you say it out loud, but psychologically, we do this all the time. So today's analysis is going to tackle that assumption head on. We really need to ask ourselves if a habit actually has to be flawless just to be effective. We love to wear perfectionism like it's a badge of honor, right? Like it's proof our standards are just incredibly high, and we absolutely refuse to settle for average. But let's actually redefine what this means based on the real psychology of human behavior. Because demanding absolute perfection isn't just about, color coding your sock drawer. When it comes to building habits, this rigid demand can actually turn incredibly toxic. What looks like a superpower, setting these sky-high standards, is actually a huge vulnerability. It builds a really brittle system, a system that literally can't bend. So the second a slight breeze comes along, the whole thing completely shatters. It turns out that demanding absolute perfection isn't this universal positive. It's actually a pretty serious liability. Section 1. The all-or-nothing trap. Okay, so here's how this trap turns into this frantic, completely exhausting cycle for us. It operates on this really specific, super destructive mechanism that just completely wipes out any middle ground. Step 1. We start out aiming for perfect habits. We are hyped, we are energized, and we set that bar impossibly high. Step 2. Reality inevitably hits, and we experience a slip-up. Life just gets in the way. Step 3. The trap snaps shut, and we quit entirely simply because it wasn't perfect. Boom, boom, boom. Aim perfect, slip up, quit entirely. Imagine you're trying to learn a new language. You get the app, you hit your daily goals for 10 days straight, you feel unstoppable. Then day 11 rolls around, you have to work late, you skip your lesson, and suddenly, poof, your streak is gone. And instead of just, picking it back up on day 12, the feeling is so uncomfortable that you literally just delete the app off your phone entirely. We don't adjust our sails. We just abandon the whole ship the second that illusion of perfection breaks. Section 2. The health and wellness battlefield. Health and wellness habits. Let's just sit with this one for a second, because think about this specific arena. Think about the super expensive gym memberships, the hardcore Sunday meal prepping, the intense meditation routines. This is exactly where the all-or-nothing trap does its absolute worst damage. Why? Well, because our physical well-being is so tied to who we think we are, a mistake here feels like this massive personal failure. We don't just, say, eat an unexpected cookie at an office party. No, we decide that the entire week of strict dieting is totally ruined, so hey, might as well order a giant pizza for dinner, right? We don't just miss one really tough workout because we slept poorly. We decide, you know what, I'm just not a gym person anymore, and we cancel the membership. Our wellness routines are practically ground zero for the perfectionist fallacy. It's where we constantly let one tiny deviation derail months of potential progress. Section 3. Reframing the slip-up. All right, let's actually slow things down right here. I want to really contrast these two very different actions side by side, because honestly, this distinction changes absolutely everything. Slipping up versus quitting because it's not perfect. Guys, these are not the same thing. Slipping up is just a normal, basically mathematical certainty in any long-term endeavor. It is human, it is inevitable. But quitting entirely just because your streak isn't absolutely flawless, now that is the real danger. The research clearly separates the physical action of making a mistake from the psychological reaction of just throwing your hands up and getting up. Think of your habit journey like you're driving a car cross country. Slipping up, that's just hitting a pothole. It bumps you around a bit, maybe slows you down for a quick second. But quitting because you hit a pothole, that is literally like deciding to purposely drive your car off a cliff just because the ride wasn't perfectly smooth. One is a tiny bump, the other is a fatal crash. There's a crucial realization here from the text that really needs to sink in. Quote, "The problem is not slipping up. The problem is thinking that if you can't do something perfectly, then you shouldn't do it at all." The mindset is the actual enemy here, not the mistake itself. I'm actually going to repeat that because it is so, so incredibly vital to your future success. Your mistake is not the problem. A missed workout, a bad meal, a routine you just completely forgot about, those mean practically nothing in the grand scheme of things. Your belief that you shouldn't even try if you can't be completely flawless, that psychological burden is exactly what's keeping you stuck in place. That right there is the true fallacy of the perfect habit. So I have to ask you, are you letting one slip-up stop you from trying at all? As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to take this fresh perspective and apply it to your own life today. The next time you break your routine, try to recognize the trap right before it snaps shut. Please don't let the illusion of perfection rob you of the reality of meaningful progress. Slipping up is not a failure, you guys. It's really just part of the data of living a real, beautifully messy human life. Keep going, keep learning, and keep moving forward, imperfectly.